Ready for this? They get in there, they're standing next to a bunch of strangers, and I remember this vividly. A couple hours later, I text one of the girls. I say, hey, come hang out with us again. We'll buy you lunch.
Yeah.
Like, we still owe you. This is amazing you got us in. And she goes, oh, no, we met this group of people. We, got really along with them, so we're hanging with them. You guys can join us. Or if not, we're like, all right, we're just not going to meet up. She became really good friends with that group of people, meets this guy in that group. They start dating.
Stop.
They fall in love. Coachella 2019, he proposes to her.
Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Girls Podcast. I am Raquel
and I'm Natasha.
And we have a very special guest if you are watching on YouTube and see this strange person. Just kidding. Not strange.
How are you going to open with strange?
Not strange.
The first word.
Not strange at all. One of our good friends, also my influencer agent, entrepreneur, business owner, co-owner of Distinction Agency, Jonathan.
Happy to be here.
At Wolf of Miami.
Follow me on Instagram. I thought I'd just promote at the end, but I guess in the beginning, follow me on Instagram at Wolf of Miami.
Intro plug.
Intro plug and just plug throughout the rest of the episode.
King of self-promotion. It's great. Anyways, you guys know what to do. Rate us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. It helps the algorithm. Please just do it. It will make us happy.
And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give this a thumbs up if you want to hear all about our crazy stories.
Yeah.
Because we're going to get into it right now.
Okay, so 2020, the year is almost over, and we wanted to have just like a feel-good episode. We've had so many serious ones, anxiety, self-love, all that stuff, but we figured, you know what, let's have an episode where we think back of like the craziest moments we never thought that would actually happen, but did. Jonathan has such crazy stories. I have crazy stories. Yeah. She has crazy stories. It's just like, you just know how to finesse, is what I like to call it.
I think that's a good word for it. I'd say finesse, a little charisma, a little luck. I think luck is a huge part of that.
It is definitely. You're right.
Yeah.
Luck. I always say
luck. Right place,
luck.
right time.
Yeah. So, okay. I think we should start with your story.
In 2016, I snuck into Coachella. It was the same year that Zed was headlining.
Oh my God.
I think the second day. So weekend number 2 was coming up. And during that week, I'd listened to Zed's set throughout the week. I was like, man, this is great. And I had no plans to go to Coachella until the Friday of the first day of the second weekend. I was here in Miami.
Okay, that was my question.
You
were still here.
I was still here Friday.
Mind you, Coachella's in Palm Springs in California.
Exactly.
So let's make that,
Right.
No.
So the Friday of that weekend, so basically there were already acts going on.
Yeah, it was
and that same day you were like, okay, let's just go to Coachella.
100%.
Love it.
I love it. Smooth.
Spontaneous as you can be.
This is why we're friends.
Before I go to sleep, I'm like, all right, we need to get tickets. And I'm like, in my head, I was like, there's a chance this doesn't work where we don't get tickets. And I get to the front gate of Coachella and I'm not going to be in. And then I spend a day in India upset. So
Wait, so you bought your flight, you go cross country,
right?
And you do not have tickets to the festival you're trying to go to.
No ticket. It's me and 2 other people, so 3 of us don't have tickets.
I can't.
At this point, you're literally just manifesting and hoping.
Oh yeah, the power of EDM and Coachella.
Yes!
I couldn't lose. Everything was on my side, right? So that night, I go on Craigslist and I find 1 ticket for sale in Palm Springs.
Okay.
Palm Springs is about half an hour outside of India.
Right,
so
right.
I don't even know if this is safe, but I'm like, I agree.
This is how you get kidnapped and chopped into pieces, but all right.
That's why I was like, we'll just show up at 8 in the morning. No big deal. And then we'll go together so they can't take all 3 of us, right? That's the logic.
Okay. And you're like, I'm definitely not the first one in line. So.
Right? I'm like, by the way, I'm going to sit in the car. When are you guys going in?
Have fun! Oh, great.
Oh, God.
So we get to Palm Springs and we get to this random house, go inside, and it's one of those
You
typical...
went inside the house?
Yeah, it was a beautiful home, to be fair. It was a gorgeous house in Palm Springs. I'm like, all right, it has to be safe, right?
No one's going to kidnap me here.
Exactly. My 2 friends literally in the car, so I'm like, if I do get kidnapped, they could not protect me or help me out. So,
oh, God.
Yeah, no, this starts to really build up here. So I get the ticket, it's the wristband. So she hands me the wristband. It was this lady. I pay in cash. So I'm like, I don't even know if this is real
scam.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, this could completely fall apart, blow up in my face, and I'm a few $100s out. But I was like,
and you're across the country.
Across the country in a city, Palm Springs. I've never been there before.
But it's beautiful there.
So it's gorgeous there.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it there.
Yeah.
So we get back in the car. We drive all the way to Indio and get to the fairgrounds or the polo grounds where Coachella is.
Polo
now,
grounds.
I'm going to not... Certain things there... Coachella has some safeguards in place to prevent you from getting to the gate. and we got around some of those. I'm not going to say what it was because I feel I'm just not going to say what it was. I'm just going to get to the point where we got to like the front gate.
Okay.
Now, the front gate of Coachella is about half a mile out from the actual entrance itself. And there's 3 checkpoints from the front gate to the entrance of Coachella where you have to scan your ticket 3 times to make it over there.
Right.
So we said we're going to buy tickets at the very front from random people. Like I had a bunch of cash on me. We all withdrew all this money. So my friends all already were like, listen, Jonathan, you got the ticket. You convinced us to come this far. You go by yourself. You go spend the day in Coachella.
Wow, that's nice of them.
Yeah, right? I was like, you guys are great
Wow, they
friends.
are nice. I'd be like, fuck you.
Okay. Now I know not to go cross country with Michelle. It's the person I'm not going to bring.
You would just leave me?
So because they were together, they're like, we're going to be together. Yeah. So we'll go and drive around.
That's
India.
a different story. Because if it's just 2 people and you're the only one, I'd be like,
no, 100%. No, it's 3 of us, and the 2 of them were like, Jonathan, you go spend the day there, see Zed tonight, and then we'll figure it out later. But I was like, no. All 3 of us are getting in this festival.
I like that attitude.
I love the tenacity.
Coachella is one of the only festivals in the world where the tickets work as an in and out. As in, you can walk in.
You can't do that.
You can't do that at Ultra, EDC. You can't do that at other festivals. Coachella, you can walk in, party till like 3 p.m. and walk out of Coachella and literally go eat lunch at a restaurant.
Take a break and come back.
Yeah, you can go home and then come back.
It's not possible to take a nap, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So I was like, well, what if I go in and then I just remove the ticket and give it back to you guys, and you guys use that same ticket and come in.
Right, but this is the thought process that everybody has going there. I mean, you have the 3 checkpoints. How are you going to pass the ticket along? Like, just throw it through the dirt? Like, it's not going to crawl its way back.
Especially because it's half a mile. Yeah.
It's half a mile.
So I'm like, we get some balloons, and then with the power of the sun. No. It's
the power of the sun and the music pods. Literally, the power of Zed.
You're going to send it with somebody.
Right. So that's the thing. I was like, how about we find a group of people and we pay them to take me into the festival and then walk back out with the ticket and give it to the next person.
Oh, wow.
Walk back in and then walk back out.
And hope they don't steal your ticket.
So we go to the first pair of girls that are walking in and approach them and say, hey, do you make $100? And they're like,
this is your drink money.
Pretty much. And they're like, okay. Just without question, they're like, we'll make $100. So I walk all 3 checkpoints and the ticket works. The ticket's real, which was like my biggest fear.
That was the biggest fear, I would say.
The Craigslist ticket.
Yeah, my Craigslist ticket. I'm like, is this going to work? But it worked. So I'm happy about that. I get in, and then I hand the girls the tickets, and it kind of dawned on me. I was like, they could walk away, sell the ticket for a couple $100, and I never see them again.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to hold your friend for collateral.
I'm going to kidnap her.
I said it just like that. I'm like, I'm holding your friend for collateral. You, by yourself, go and get my friend.
Smart.
And she was like, okay. One of the girls, she walks out, goes another half mile all the way out, picks up my friend, another half mile back in, gets him in with that ticket, and then we send her out one more time. And here's the great part. She goes all the way back, grabs my friend. On the way back, she passed out from the heat.
Stop!
Yeah. She collapsed on the way back. And I got a text from him. He's like, dude, she just like fell down.
Oh my God.
And what I'm like, call a paramedic, like call for help.
Stop.
And and the text message I get back from him is like, I'm carrying her.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah, what else are you going to do at that point? You're like, you don't even know this person's name, you just paid him $50 like to cross you back and forth, like, oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, so he carries her to like the front gate. I don't know, but she woke up. She woke up.
Okay,
I don't know how he shook her a little bit.
So she got $50 or $100, and then she also got to get carried into Coachella. So that's like a pretty good deal.
That's pretty good.
Well, she walked in and you could tell like she was, that look of dehydration gone.
Girl, drink water.
I immediately bought her like all this juice, all this food. But we all got in, like all 3 of us got in, and like we're in the festival. We spend the whole day in the festival. I see Zed. I live my best life, and at the very end of that festival, I walked out and someone was looking to buy a ticket for the last day. We weren't going to go on the last day because we had to fly back to Miami on Sunday.
Oh my God, you went for 24 hours.
I went for 24 hours. I sold the ticket for the price I bought it for.
No, you didn't!
Yeah.
I can't.
100%. Now, that's that story, but here's the best part of it. The part that I leave for last. I don't know if you guys know
I can't believe you made your money back.
Oh, yeah, I made my money back. Yeah.
What the?
Did you save some a whole army in your past life?
Well,
or something?
apparently, that was
a
just
kingdom.
it was one of those things where everything fell into place. And this is where it all comes to a head here. This is the moment where this is my favorite part of the story. So those two girls, when we walked in with them, we went separate ways, and I've never seen them again in my life. But I'm still connected with them on social media.
Of course.
We connected, but went separate ways. What they did, they wanted to go see an artist play at a stage, but because they were so focused on sneaking us in, they missed that artist set, and there was only 10 minutes left. So they said, no big deal, we're just going to go to the next set we were going to go to and just get a better spot in the crowd.
Okay, right.
So they do that, right? Ready for this? They get in there, they're standing next to a bunch of strangers, and I remember this vividly. A couple hours later, I text one of the girls. I say, hey, come hang out with us again. We'll buy you lunch.
Yeah.
We still owe you. This is amazing you got us in. And she goes, oh, no, we met this group of people. We got really along with them, so we're hanging with them. You guys can join us. Or if not, we're all right, we're just not going to meet up. She became really good friends with that group of people, meets this guy in that group. They start dating.
Stop.
They fall in love. Coachella 2019, he proposes to her.
Yeah, right.
I swear to you. And they're engaged to get married. They're supposed to get married this year, but COVID. But
wait, so are you saying that because they missed the band that they wanted to see,
yes.
all because stop?
All together because we made the last minute decision to fly out there. We didn't have a ticket, forced us to go to the festival early. We had to pay someone to sneak us in. She agreed to sneak us in.
Okay, wait, hold on. Totally trying to give yourself credit.
Oh, 100%.
No, I love that Jonathan is literally like, oh, I just went cross country to get a couple married.
Basically.
He's like, I am destiny.
Of course.
I don't mean Harry Styles.
Oh my God.
That's what I put all my destiny into.
Is it the girl that fainted or not?
No, it wasn't the girl that fainted. It was her friend.
The girl you held for collateral.
Yeah, right? It was the girl I held for collateral, yeah. She ends up meeting this guy, they fell in love, and he proposed to her at Coachella 2019 because they had met at Coachella 2016.
Okay, that justified the situation because I was going to be like, I would not take the $50, $100 if I'm going to miss who I came to see.
Oh, hell no, sorry. I don't care.
That's more important.
You know me, I'd be like, nope.
Yeah.
But then meanwhile, you meet the love of your life and whatever, so...
Yeah, and
cheers to that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that puts that whole story together. All these things fell into place. Had they not left that set and gone to the other set early, because had they saw the whole set, they would have stayed for the whole thing. Never would have been in that part of the crowd. Never would have met that group of friends.
Wow.
Met that guy. Fell in love.
Are they from California?
Yeah, they're both from California. They're both from India. What were the odds?
Whoa, that's weird. And they didn't know each other. India's not that big,
right? And she's like, yeah, this group of people we met because weekend 2 typically is more locals that go to weekend 2.
Right.
So she stayed with them, and they're engaged to get married now. And when they got,
are you going to the wedding? Or are you making
I want to. Well, I messaged her on social media.
He's like, can I marry you guys? I'll get notarized.
There and make it about me the whole time. This couple's together because of me. Follow me on Instagram.
We're filming your tux and you're wearing your Wolf of Miami shirt.
All of a sudden, you became a matchmaker without even realizing.
Exactly. It's all because everything fell into place.
Wow.
All because I needed to sneak into Coachella with me and my 2 friends.
Well, that's a good time. I mean, besides the love maker story, whatever, did you have a good time?
Oh, I had an amazing time.
It was totally worth it.
It was insane.
Were your friends like, hell yes, thank you?
Were they as into it?
Oh, they were so into that night. We drove back from midnight to 3 a.m. all the way back to LA. And I remember them telling me, dude, we didn't think this was going to happen. We just kind of thought we were going on a fun trip to California. You made it happen. This has been the greatest weekend ever.
My story is definitely not destiny.
Did I set the bar too high?
Oh, no, the bar is definitely not high because mine is pretty good, too. It's just not a destiny kind of a story. This is more of a mishap in Las Vegas kind of a story.
All right, I'm here for Vegas stories. I'm here for it.
Okay, because first I was thinking, okay, I had an idea. I understood that Jonathan was going to tell us something about sneaking into Coachella, but I didn't know any. This is the first time I'm hearing the story. And I was like, what could I do that would kind of match that level? Because I've never really snuck into a place. But
except for EDC.
I've had a lot of crazy nights, but not sure all the crazy nights are worth telling on the podcast either. We want to keep it PG-13. So yeah, I was trying to remember. Okay, Vegas, 21. I turned 21, and I went with one of my best friends. And we both ended up going to Vegas. We went with like my mom and stepdad at the time. We were trying to get into like one of the clubs. Like the first night, it was like, I think we arrived like Friday night or something. And this is like back when I lived in California. So it's like Vegas is just a thing to do. Like you literally drive, you're like 5 hours, you're in Vegas.
Or
like you just go all the time. Yeah. So we were like, okay, whatever. We'll just like drive out to Vegas. We get there like Friday night. And I was turning 21. I think like the midnight of the next day, like the Saturday midnight.
Nice.
So somehow like my mom kind of like finessed her way into like getting us a little table at like some small, like a super tiny club in Vegas. I forget which hotel. And that was like the first night. So I was able to go in still being 20 years old. But we have our night. And when we come out of the club, we see this guy with this red giant plastic guitar. Okay. But it was made out of plastic. It was not like a real electric guitar. It was not an acoustic guitar. And we were like, kind of like looking at the guy and like looking at the guitar. And then it had like buttons on it. So he started like pressing them and it would like light up. And we were like, where did you get that thing?
I
want one. We literally were like, where did you get that? We want that now. And then he starts drinking out of it. It has a straw.
It was a cup?
It was
a drink?
Wait.
It was
like the whole
literally
thing?
like almost like an electric guitar sized thing. Like a large, like the same size of an electric guitar, but in plastic with a straw out of it.
100%.
With a straw coming out of it. So if you've never been to Vegas, it's legal to drink on the streets there. And if you go, like the classic thing to do is like you get like the yard long, so like basically a cup the size of your body with a straw coming out of it, and they're like green and blue and pink and red and all sorts of colors, and it's just fun, right? So we're like, he's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, we got this guitar from Cabo Wabo. We're like, what's in it? Like, it has a straw. What are you drinking? He's like, a daiquiri. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I was like, again,
what's a daiquiri?
I was still 20 years old, so I wasn't even legal to go purchase alcohol myself. So we end up like, I think like the midnight where midnight's supposed to strike and I'm going to turn 21. And we're like walking down the street. We come out of the club. At this point, like, of course, we had finesse. I'm 20. I had some drinks still in me. And we're walking across the street trying to find Cabo Wabo. Cabo Wabo, guys.
What is
that?
I've been to Vegas and I've never
heard of
like.
that.
Yeah, no. Wait, you never heard of Cabo Wabo?
No, where is it?
There's like different. There's not just one. Like, it's like a big.
I've never heard. I know Tuesdays.
Yeah, it's
Senior Frogs.
No, it's literally like the same thing. It's like the same vibe. Like they have it in different places.
Is it next to the Taco Bell Cantina? Where is this?
Not sure. It's next to Caesar's Palace. I'm not sure, but we walk across the street. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and at this point, like again, I had never been, of legal age to like be going around Vegas, so I thought that everything was 24 hours there. That's just what I understood. I was like, oh, if you're walking on the street, people are still going to be out at 5 a.m. No. The streets were empty, so I don't know if everybody was in the strip clubs or where the heck the people were, but they were not on the strip.
I feel like that's
it's strange, actually.
It was, I don't know. So we crossed the street, and I'm like, with my arm around my friend, we're like walking, where is Cabo Wabo, guys?
Cabo Wabo.
And I had just like put sandals on because I was like done with the heels for the night, and they were sandals, right? Like flip flop, open toe. My feet are bare out in the open,
on
and
the
he
strip.
had dress shoes. Right. He had dress shoes on. We go up the escalator.
So you get staph infection.
We find Cabo Wabo.
Up the escalator barefoot?
No, not barefoot. I was in sandals. I'm saying open toe. No, not barefoot. Ew. So I was like,
you got some decency, some class.
No, on the escalator. That's pink. What the hell?
Yeah, right?
Your toe gets caught in the escalator.
That's what I was saying.
No, that did not happen, guys, but we're almost there. So we get to the top of the escalator. We're like, Cabo Wabo, it's closed. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Nobody's doing that, I guess. All of a sudden, I like kind of start feeling like a little bit of pain in my foot. And the fact that you already had who knows how many drinks and you're feeling pain.
That's not good.
Something is wrong.
Because you shouldn't feel the
pain. You should not feel anything.
We're cringing at whatever this is going to be.
So we like start walking down the escalators. We're like, damn, like Cabo Wabo's not open. We're going to have to make it back tomorrow. I look down.
No.
And I literally have blood all over my foot.
Ooh. I told you.
And I was like, I literally was like staring at my foot like, what the hell? Like, I was like, is it Halloween? Like, what happened? Whatever.
Is it Halloween?
And
that's where her head goes.
I'm supposed to turn 21 tomorrow. I bumped my foot into my friend's shoe. And somehow like, I don't want to get like all graphic here.
Is this a medical podcast
But
now?
it lifted my nail.
Oh!
So like my whole foot was just like gory blood everywhere.
That happened to my friend's
It was so gross. It was so bad. I literally was just, I didn't even know what to do. I was looking at my foot and I was like, what's going on?
I'm uncomfortable now. I'm uncomfortable.
At this point, I'm like probably more drunk than I really am because I was just like, what's happening? So I show up to the concierge and I was like telling them like, my foot's bleeding. What do I do? And I'm like, do you have a Band-Aid, something? Like they did not want to help me. Like they were like, oh, maybe we have a first aid kit. Like I was like, thanks, Cosmo. No, anyway, so whatever. They give me a Band-Aid. I clean it up. I'm like, put myself to bed, put the Band-Aid on. The next morning we wake up.
Oh God, it gets worse.
So of course my mom.
I'm not here for this.
So of course my mom, like the next morning, because she didn't know that this happened, mind you. Like at 5, she went to sleep. So we wake up the next day.
Vegas is just bad.
My foot is throbbing, like throbbing. Like no drink was gonna stop the suffering. Like I had the ibuprofens, like it wasn't working.
Oh my God.
So my mom, she like looks at my foot. It's my big toe, okay?
Oh, no.
So she like looks at my big toe and she's like, I'm not gonna get all graphic about it now. The blood was gruesome as it
way
gets.
more graphic than I can handle. This is way more than I can
She
handle.
looks at my toe and she's just like worried, like what if it gets infected? Like I don't want you to have like this infection on your foot, whatever.
A staph infection.
So of course,
exactly.
She goes the extra mile. She's like, let's go to the emergency room or urgent care to go check it out.
No, this happened to my friend.
And I was like, Mom, I don't want to go to urgent care. It's my birthday weekend. Like, I didn't want to feel.
I just want to keep drinking,
No.
Mom.
I want a
guitar.
That's all that matters.
Give me the guitar.
So we go.
Toes barely
We
in my
literally
arm
go to the urgent care. Everybody's like homeless at the place. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I don't want to be here. Like, can we please leave? We literally went to urgent care. We stayed for like 30 minutes or an hour. We left. Didn't get checked. No, nothing. Like, because I was like, I don't want to spend my birthday here. Like, so we go back to the hotel. She's still not done yet. And then she decides to call the paramedics anyways because she's so afraid my toe's going to get infected. Like, she doesn't want my toe to get chopped off or something. Like, amputate my toe.
Oh, God.
So in the hotels in Vegas, you guys, it's a large hotel. Obviously, like, there are different elevators and different towers. When you have paramedics come in, obviously it's for something extremely serious. Like you need to get your stomach pumped, or you had a heart attack, or a stroke or something, or I don't know, you gambled too much last night.
I stubbed my toe!
Literally, they have to shut down all the elevators of the building that I'm in. Just so that they can put the
gurney.
Yeah, whatever that thing is called.
Oh my God.
The gurney, I guess. The bed thing they take. So I'm like so embarrassed, you guys. Like, I literally, and I think right before this, I was like, you know what? If we're going to call paramedics and do all this situation, I'm going to go get my guitar.
Yes!
I'm turning 21. We're getting that guitar. So I'm going to probably put a picture on the YouTube video. Now you're going to have to check out on YouTube. But I had the guitar. The paramedics were there. I was like sipping it. They came in the room. I was like, you guys, it's my 21st birthday. I was telling them, I'm like, I'm embarrassed you're even here. But you know what, YOLO, like I had the thing, I was drinking it, we were checking my foot, I was fine, like what are they going to do?
Did they take your toenail?
What are they going to do?
Oh, no, why are you asking these questions?
Of course she does.
It's not a medical podcast.
Ask it one more time, ASMR.
Did they take your toenail?
Yes, when I got back to San Diego, they did.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Do you want to hear about that?
No.
I've been through it so many times.
Wait, can I just say, I had a blast. Like, this is a very memorable story for my 21st. When I actually saw like a doctor with time in San Diego, I'm not going to tell you what happened.
It was not good.
I'm just going to describe it in detail.
But when that happened, they like put a spray that numbs your your skin. They sprayed it like 10 times because I could still feel everything.
Oh.
And then they inject you several times, and that's all I'm going to say. But I could still feel it.
I performed the surgery on myself. So
wait. I have to say one last thing.
Why?
Jonathan.
Okay, before you say it, I came in Coachella store, and you're like, let me think of a story that's like sneaking into Coachella. My toe almost got fucking amputated. That's close. That's relevant to Coachella.
Can I please tell you what the doctor said to me after he took it off?
Go.
He goes, with them like in the pliers or whatever the hell.
Oh, God.
He goes, do you want to keep it? I literally was sobbing, you guys.
I gotta go.
Sobbing. Who asked that?
Wait, what?
a keepsake.
I used to put it underneath your pillow.
Happy 21st birthday. Like, what? What kind of question is that?
Well, I mean, this story's funny because the same thing happened to my friend Sam. She dropped her luggage on her toe.
I don't want to hear about Sam. I don't want to hear about Sam.
And like similar, was wheeled around in a wheelchair in Vegas because of her birth. Like, yeah.
I mean, a wheelchair would be nice.
Like, your mother didn't clarify, because when you call the paramedics, you have to tell them what's going on. She didn't say, "Oh, my daughter stubbed her toe and is bleeding." And like, like, what did she say? Where they had to roll in a gurney?
The daiquiri guitar is like a liter's worth of booze, so I'm not really sure, but
oh my god, because that's
mind you, I was sharing it with my friend. Okay, guys, don't judge me. 21.
I mean, I have a lot of stories. That was a good one. Should we tell it?
Was it? I mean, it was a good story. It just wasn't a good story.
I'm very good at finessing, you know? Mm-hmm. So I've just had a lot of instances where I just talk and end up places that, you know, I have a very similar story to you where we wanted to go to a music festival in Chicago, and it was going to be the first music festival I, wasn't working in God knows how long. And my friend called me, it was a Friday, and she was like, Raquel, how much are you willing to, she's like, I really want to go. And I was like, jokingly, if you find a flight for $50, I'm down. Called me 20 minutes later, $49.
That's how it starts.
Let's go. I was like, let's go. But it was Spirit. So you know how that goes.
Yeah.
I've never done it for that reason.
So
there you go.
We had the last flight. It was the same thing. We were missing the Friday of the festival. Didn't have tickets, but I was like, I have enough friends performing at the festival still when I was working in country music. So I was like, we'll figure it out. It's fine. So we booked a Marriott, a Hyatt or something. We fly into Chicago. Of course, we get on the plane. Something's wrong with the plane. We're sitting there for an hour. We can't deboard. I'm like, literally just get me to Chicago. It's not that long of a flight. So finally we get to Chicago, land. It had already been the whole day. We got there at 1 a.m.
Were you in your high heel boots?
No, I was not. I was in jammy land. I was like, I don't care. So we get on the Marriott, Hilton, whatever trolley thing that takes you to the hotel. We went to the wrong one.
Oh, God.
So we went to the wrong one. It's now 2 a.m. The man felt, or 1:30.
Reminded me of another Vegas story.
1:30 a.m. The guy felt so bad for me. He was like, listen, girls. Because we walked into the hotel. They're like, we don't have a reservation. I was like, what do you mean you don't have a reservation? This is a problem. And we showed it, and they're like, that's the new hotel. And I was like,
how far away was the new hotel from the one you were at?
20 minutes. But it was 2 a.m. Uber still wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
This was in 2014, so
right.
it wasn't just access.
It wasn't as easy just to get there. Yeah,
Uber wasn't a thing yet.
I know, right? Or if it was in the city, and we were a little bit outside of the city.
Right.
So we're staring at each other with one eye open, trying to figure out how we're gonna get to this hotel. The nice man was like, "Listen, guys, I'll take you because I feel so bad." So we tipped him extra money. He takes us to the hotel. We're fine. We wake up the next morning super early. Still don't have tickets. I'm texting all my friends, all the tour managers. I'm like, hey, what's up? Do you have any extra passes? What's going on? No one's answering me, of course, because they're sound checking. So we're just staring at each other in the hotel room. And mind you, we have to take the subway to whatever it is, the train there to get to the city to figure it out. So I'm like, let's just start our day. We'll figure it out. There's a Cubs game going on, so you can't even get on the train. It was a whole to-do, of course. So we finally get there. We ended up buying tickets. Literally 5 minutes after we bought our tickets, what do you think happens?
You got a text from all your friends.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey guys, we have extra passes if you guys want. Okay, fine, cool. So we end up selling. My friend's you sell the tickets on the side, on the street. I'm like, I'm not gonna stand on the corner and sell the tickets. I'm not doing that. She's like, fine. I will. So she goes up to these people and they're like, do you want tickets? And we sold it for cheaper, I think. We're like, have fun, have a date day, and they took it. So we go into the festival, whatever, we're good, hunky-dory. And it was a smaller festival, not the most organized. So this was before the wristbands were scannable. Right. So the artist wristbands were just paper. Oh. So, right, which I was like, oh, this is fine.
Okay.
So we have we're living our best life, we're backstage, we're drinking drinks and whatever. Okay, so now it's Sunday, and we are supposed to be flying out Sunday night out to the festival. We don't end up doing that, but it's fine.
Of course. So, missing the flight.
So we're like, okay, we are not going to just be regular, we're not just going to do the regular thing today. We have to be backstage. So the wristbands were the same colors for the artist passes. So we literally are just like, hey!
What?
We never took them off because normally now it's like they're different colors.
They're different colors. You gotta scan them.
Yeah, no, they don't scan. Like
this is the reason why everything changed, guys.
Because of you.
Because of both of you.
So mind you, okay, so now we're backstage again, living our best life on people's tour buses, eating food. I'm eating everyone's chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. It's great, whatever, my normal life. And all my friends are like, we're going out tonight. Let's go out. So my friend is like, we have a flight. I'm like, no, we don't. We don't have a flight. So she's been on the phone all day. She's like yelling at Spirit. She's like, my client's performing at the festival. How do you expect her? Like, our assistant booked the wrong ticket.
Oh my.
This whole to do. Finally, we get our flights changed to like 8 a.m. the next morning.
So it actually worked.
It worked out.
It worked. But I was very intoxicated. I don't remember coming back to the hotel room. I had my shirt on inside out.
Okay.
We go to the.
How about you tell us that story?
We go to the airport. Well, I was just partying with.
I came on the wrong episode.
We were partying with all of our friends back from Nashville. They can drink. They're all dudes. They're like, Raquel, it's fine.
Moonshine.
Now I could never do that. I was like 22 at the time. There's no way. Yeah, so I don't remember going through security. My shirt's inside out. I'm like sleeping on my bag, my like carry-on in the airport. Like, I'm gonna die. This is it. Then we get on our plane, and someone has a heart attack on our plane.
No way.
Yeah, someone has a heart attack, a stroke, something like that on our plane. We think we're gonna have to make an emergency landing.
Wait, how does that even? What even happens?
They just like. They ask if there's any medical people aboard.
So how were you aware of that?
They like said it. They're like there was a medical emergency and like people were trying to. It was like right behind us too. So
now of course it was like right behind.
But they get in like panic mode.
Yeah,
are they like running
asked,
up and down?
They asked if there's any doctors on board or medical professional, whatever. I think there was like a doctor or a nurse or something on board.
Wow.
So, but the crazy part is, so I was supposed to be. I like was the middle seat because my friend's like, I can't sit in the middle, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm gonna throw up. Like, I'm so hungover.
Right.
I'm still drunk.
Aisle.
And so the guy in front of me is by himself, so I tap him on the shoulder. I'm like, can I like sit? He's like, yeah, sure. I like go to take my water bottle out of my backpack and like all these koozies fly everywhere. And he's like, you had a fun year.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't. So then once this happens, we're all thinking like we might have to make an emergency landing because they were saying this.
Wait, sorry. I'm just imagining the koozies flying. Meanwhile, there's someone having a heart attack in the back of the
She's like, my
plane.
souvenirs from the weekend. Oh, what a great weekend. Yeah, guys stroking in the back of the plane. She's telling stories about each koozie. This one I was 6 drinks deep in. I don't remember anything.
That's what I'm imagining. Raquel's like running to the toilet and then the guy's having a heart attack.
God.
So we're making a plan because we're like, if we have to make an emergency landing, like we're screwed because I'm like, I had to like be home that night. I had to like whatever. So I ended up making friends with the guy and like everyone around us.
God.
We were like, if we literally get stuck somewhere, like we'll rent a car and drive. Like we all were like, we'll put our money together. But I was like, well, if we're in Nashville and have to make an emergency landing, I'm out. Like I'm calling my friends. I'm like, hello, someone come get me. Like I'm done here. But luckily we landed in Fort Lauderdale and like the paramedics had to come on board, all that like to do. So we couldn't even board right away. Like, oh my God. And then my friend ended up picking me up. And he's actually the one who I set up with my friend in Nashville. Now they're getting married. So like, hey,
there you go.
matchmakers over here.
I'm like thinking like,
we should open up a business.
yeah, you guys should. I'm like,
Yeah.
have I matched? I don't think I matched me anymore.
No, but I literally get in his car and he's like, Raquel, your shirt's inside out. I'm like, I think I'm still drunk.
Oh, God. Someone died on my flight. Let me...
Yeah, pretty much. Let me
breathe
process
over
that.
this. Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
literally, it was. I got home. My mom's like, "You look awful." I'm like, "I feel awful, Mom. I haven't slept in 3 days."
Meanwhile, you were wishing to stop in Nashville.
Right? You're like, let's keep going.
It was like the best weekend ever though, and the weather was perfect. It was like 75 degrees. It was apparently like the best summer they had in God knows how long. It was so good. I had the best mac and cheese of my life. Good
Here
food in
for it.
Chicago.
Here for
Chicken
it.
nuggets and
Chicken
mac and
nuggets
cheese.
and
Let's
mac and
go.
Healthy meal right there.
Yeah.
Keeps you going. Okay.
Take me back to when I was 5.
That's the good old years.
The good old 22 years. But yeah,
Oh
no,
my
I mean,
gosh.
it's just one of those things. I mean, we've had stories too where we like somehow ended up finally at the Maxim party.
Yeah, we
for
got
Basil.
the Maxim party for
I
Basil.
like looked at him. We like didn't know what we were gonna do, and I got a text. I was like, "We're in." And then even with us at EDC last year, we weren't supposed to be in the artist lounge, and I was just.
That's what I understood. I was like, this is where we're supposed to be, so we just walked in with confidence and nobody questioned us.
And then the next
That's
day,
all it takes.
And then the next day, the security man took a picture of us and sent it to the whole security team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we didn't have artist wristbands, but we were supposed to be in there because we were doing obviously interviews for radio,
right.
and you wouldn't have been able to hear them. So they had messed up our wristbands. It was the wristband situation last year was a mess, but yeah, they took a picture of us and sent it to the whole security team. And we're like, they're cleared for the whole weekend.
Oh, they cleared you with that photo.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's awesome.
Hey. She's like, what just happened? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Wow.
Just keep walking.
Just keep walking. I'm used to this.
And then we got free food. It was great.
Yeah.
And then we ended up on stage with
I
Fisher.
I forgot
and then
we
made friends and ended up on stage with Fisher.
Nice.
Fun stuff.
And drove back at 2 a.m. and she had to be on the radio at 5 a.m.
All the great stories end with like a time crunch at the end. Like you gotta get somewhere.
A panic attack, crime time.
Crime time.
Crime time.
Captain Crunch?
I'm hungry, yeah.
She's hungry.
Thinking about food. No, but I mean, just like reminiscing on these stories is so great because it makes you appreciate everything
100%.
so much more, especially now. And I was talking to my grandparents on the way down here, and I was like, I just want to go to a concert. Yeah. And they were like, you know what? This just means when you finally can go to them, it's going to be that much better because you took it for granted because it was your job and it was just a thing you were always doing. So now I feel like any trip, any adventure is just going to be so much greater. And
well, that's what I think in 2021, you know, hopefully, knock on wood, a vaccine comes out, everything gets taken care of. I think the world's going to go hard.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's going to be festivals, concerts, parties. Like, everyone is going to appreciate it, like, at all levels.
Yes.
Like,
I agree. You just have to keep, just because it's gone or taken away once, don't take it for granted when it comes back again.
Yeah, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what, always keep that in mind. We're going to be, when everything's back to normal and we're out and this and that, be like, remember COVID? Remember the days of COVID?
Well, now, I mean, you know, now that this has happened, you never know what the next crazy thing is going to be. So it's like you kind of got to take everything a day at a time and, I mean,
live in the present.
It's definitely one of those things, too. It's like if you were going to say no to doing it before because you were just like, man, I don't want to go. I'm going to be like, no, I'm going.
Oh,
like,
no, yeah, 100%.
We're going.
I'm taking that extra shot. I'm staying out that extra hour.
I'm not sure about that part.
Spending that extra $1.
Right. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, for
Safety
you, not
first.
calling the paramedics. I'm not going to call paramedics.
First. Oh, my goodness, you guys. But if you have any crazy stories like ours, or if you finesse your way into things in life like these two have, make sure you comment those below in the YouTube video. And, of course, subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at millennial_girls. On Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff. Give us a thumbs up. And, of course, follow this guy right here. Plug yourself one more time.
At Wolf of Miami on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, everything.
You guys have a podcast, too. Plug that.
Yeah, so the Distinct Brand Podcast, we don't talk about really cool stories like this. It's more branding focused, entrepreneurial focused. We talk to some professional athletes as well about social media. So it's more serious and not as fun as you guys.
Yeah, you guys don't have as good of a time as we do here.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding, you guys. But thank you. And what we say here is peace, love, and unicorns.
You have to say it.
Peace, love, and unicorns.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.